Hi, everybody. Russ from the West End Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Hope you're having a good Monday night if you're in the UK, or a nice Monday afternoon if you're over stateside. It's news at 10 o'clock UK time, of course. And we bring you some headlines that we didn't have time for the rest of the day. We did the ratings on lunchtime for the Bournemouth game, so check that out. We had Hammer's headlines. It was an interesting couple of stories about some young players we've been linked with, as well as a winger from La Liga. And a few more stories as well. Been a lot of stories over the weekend. Maybe because Moyes has insisted he's not leaving. I don't know. But there's been quite a few stories. Now, we've been talking about a lot of incomings, but obviously there will be some departures this summer, that's for sure. Maybe Deck, one more year. But we'll see about that one. But Ben Johnson is someone that's been linked with a move away. Apparently, Everton want to sign him, and the London club are open to offers, according to Claret and Hugh. The 23-year-old fullback is capable of playing left back and right back, and has been regular this season. He's made over 80 appearances for the club over the last couple of years, but his current contract is set to expire in 2024. He is not well. We had to exercise. Don't forget, we offered him a contract and he refused, but because we had an option to exercise 2 additional years, that's what we did. It doesn't look like they're coming close to a new contract, if at all. And apparently the club have opted to listen to offers, and Everton are one of the ones showing interest, according to the new report. Everton obviously need more players. They need to stay in the Premier League first, but if they're still in the division next season, Johnson could well be a good signing for them, particularly because his diversity. He can play left back, right back, centre back as well, and has the defensive abilities, to shine more than going forward. He's more defender than he's an attacker, and that's the type of thing that maybe a Sean Dyche manager would love. And they've got Seamus Coleman's coming to the end of his career somewhat. They've got the guy on loan, not Vinagre or something like that. He'll be going back on loan, going back to his parent club in Portugal. So he could be a good signing for cover and competition. He's not going to be too expensive, I'd say, or command massive wages. He's still relatively new in his career, so to speak. But at 23 now, he needs to be playing regular first team football, particularly for his international aspirations, if possible, as well. There's a lot of right backs, a lot of defenders maybe ahead of him in the pecking order. If Johnson's open to it and West Ham are willing to offer, I think Everton would be silly not to be in the conversation for his next destination for that exact reason. There's a potential place for him there, and we'll see. We'll see what happens in the summer. Be shame to go. I like Ben. He's a nice boy as well. But it's as you said, if it means we can get other players in, we can utilize that money, space in the squad, maybe to bring up a number one from the under 21s, or we'll be under 21s, people like Ollie Scars, people like that, in terms of the pathway. We shall see. But apparently we've had a replacement already lined up, a Moroccan. It was all about the Czech Republic boys, wasn't it? With Soufal and Souček, and now with Aged, we've been linked with Bono, we've been linked with Zigech, we've been linked with what's his name? Youssef El Nesri, yes, it. And also now, apparently, we have been alerted to the potential availability of the Bayern Munich fullback, Noussair Mazari, according to 90 Minutes. The Moroccan international struggled for game time this season since moving from Ajax to Bayern Munich. It's not a bad transfer, is it? He's only started just 10 times this season in 20 appearances overall for the Bundesliga leaders. Situation has led questions to his immediate future, with representatives apparently already looking for moves. Loads of clubs have been made aware of his situation. The likes of obviously us, Arsenal, Wolves, Newcastle, Man United, Palace, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. They've all been told about his potential desire to move on. He signed a 4-year deal back in the summer, and a fee obviously will be involved in the player, but obviously there's been a change in management. There could be maybe a loan move potentially. He's struggled under Julian Nagelsmann when he signed him, and has somewhat continued with Thomas Tuchel at the helm. So he's likely to seek an exit route this season. So could it be to the Hammers? Could it be to the Hammers? Could it be partnering up with his mate, Naya Figuered. Who knows? And lastly, maybe we talk about outs. Obviously, Deck potentially could be an out, or more likely than not, I'd suggest. And we're lining up players. We're going to do. I might do a show about who his replacement could be. There's lots of names we've been touted about, the likes of Milenkovic-Savic, James Ward-Prowse potentially, Scott McTominay, and another one is the former Arsenal midfielder and current Marseille midfielder, Matteo Guendouzi. Yes, Guendouzi, yeah, to replace Declan Rice, according to a report from L'Equipe, the French newspaper. The Hammers are expected to lose their captain, as we said, at the end of the season, and apparently the French international midfielder has emerged as a target for the summer for West Ham, according to a report, although they face competition from Newcastle and Aston Villa to get the deal done. He's expected to leave Liga this season after 2 seasons with Marseille, and a fee of around £35 million expected to be enough to get a deal done. Since going from Arsenal, where he was very too young, to Marseille, he's matured and has become a real influential player, which means he could come back to the Premier League with a point to prove, and a spot, at West Ham could well suit him well. 35 seems a little high, but considering, we're likely to get maybe north, about 180 to 100 million pounds for Rice, it wouldn't be a crazy level of investment. I think, if you're looking at Scott McTominay, he's going to be about 25 million. Probably Ward-Prowse will be about the same. Conor Gallagher's about 30 million. So it's probably around the right price for him. And for some of his age and a guy who plays the same role, seems not a bad deal. We then obviously extra money to bolster the squad, maybe with another midfielder or maybe a couple of fullbacks or whatever. So yeah, I sort of talked myself. I started this piece thinking no, but I sort of talked my way around as it could be a bit of a shrewd one, maybe. Maybe him alongside someone like Milenkovic-Savic, who could be out, he'd be 30 million as well. 60 million for the pair of them, or 65. That doesn't seem bad at all. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sure you'll have some interesting views about that. And that's it, my friends. Nice and short. Good evening, good night, sweet dreams, my friends. And let's cheer on the under-18s tomorrow. FA Cup Youth final against Arsenal at the Emirates. 7 o'clock kickoff, I want to say, off the top of my head. So hopefully we'll do that. And obviously got Liverpool on the Wednesday. And then we travel to Crystal Palace for the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. Come on, you Irons. Come on, the under-18s. Let's do the double.